Yo, what up, dude? So, hey, by the way, welcome to the lair. This is the office right here, man. It's a Walmart table, if anyone was wondering. All right, wanted to further elaborate on a really good question that came up in my IG Q&As. And just so I don't butcher the exact wording of the question, the individual asked, how many pitches should a pitcher try to learn and what would they be? Now, obviously, I'll start it off by proclaiming that I 100% know that I sound like a broken record all the time, completely aware of that. But I also instruct in a game that has so many different variables, right? So the obvious answer to that is it's going to be different for everyone, right? But the thing that I do want to kind of talk about is something that I'm leaning more one way nowadays, if you will, because when I was growing up, I think my dad did a really good job at really like having me understand the goal. And the goal at the time was always like big picture. It wasn't what I was like fighting for in Little League, even though it was never about, hey, don't care about winning, but it was like, hey, there's, let's look down the road, like what's going to best, equip you to be a successful, major league baseball player. And it's different. And I don't mean this in a cocky way, but it was different for me because my dad was a major leaguer. So I think the reality of that was right there. Like it was like, oh, well, I see this guy every day and he was in the major league. So it was like that obviously helped. And I think that's because goes hand in hand to why I do what I do, because I'm so grateful for, my upbringing, and I just want to kind of relay that. So sorry for the tangent, but when it comes to like developing pitches, I think you have to understand the goal, right? Because when I say everyone's going to be different, I really do mean it. I mean like, and I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way or it's a bad way, but it's just the reality of the situation in the sense of, maybe little Timmy just wants to be a really good high school baseball player and dominate his high school league, and then he's good. Then he's done with baseball. That's fine. That's going to look a little bit different because little Timmy in that sense maybe could develop 8 to 10 pitches, spitballs, freaking all this other stuff because he wants to dominate high school. Now, what I was alluding to earlier about kind of the way that I'm leaning now, if your goal is really big picture and you want to be a major league pitcher, look at the big leagues right now, man. Like you got to put every ounce of energy into your velocity, and that's just the reality of it, dude. And what I mean like by that, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day who's talking about how like he's trying to develop a changeup and he's working on his slider, and this was his best pitch and like yada yada yada. Love this kid, but I was like, what's the goal, dude? Like, you're not gonna get in to affiliated baseball unless you throw 95. So where is your time and your energy being spent? Is it being spent trying to develop a changeup that you're grinding on right now? Like it's like you want a changeup because you got to check the ego at the door, right? I'm the same way, dude. Like my whole career, I've always wanted a freaking dope changeup. I think changeup's sick. And I've never really been a guy that had a good feel for a changeup. And there's been multiple seasons where I've tried so hard to develop a changeup, and all of that energy and time and reps had essentially been wasted, right? So my thing is like if you want to get into like, and it's different for college. Again, I can't really allude to college just because like I didn't go and I don't really know how that all works, how I mean I got recruited and everything, but I don't know how. I'm assuming that they go for guys that just dominate, right? Obviously, stuff plays a part in it, but it's more about domination than it is like if you want to get into affiliated ball, if you want to get into professional baseball, like it's stuff. Like stuff will always trump, maybe homie's freaking ability to pinpoint command at 82. So again, just to recap, this is a really good question, and it always is going to go back to the individual's goal. But this is kind of where I'm at right now, man, is like spend every rep and every like minute of energy that you spend with one of these guys in your hand, like focusing on whatever it's going to take to get you towards that goal. So, I don't know how everyone kind of goes about their training, but like if you have that goal of I want to play in the big leagues, then you have to have the goal of, I need to throw 95 plus in your mind. And then your work should mirror that. It should look like that. How are you training to reach that? You know what I mean? So as always, email me any questions. I'll try to do more of these IG Q&As just to give me an opportunity to kind of do this. And it lets me, talk into a fuzzy little mic and look at myself later on. So who doesn't want to do that? All right, guys. Much love. Subscribe to my podcast because there's some dope episodes coming out. Talk to you.